come out along a paved road, which then turns into a very rough road, gravel road, but more rough than that. We're below my finger here in the general area of that. Now we've gone down to here, which is this Svortuloft bird cliffs and the tall original lighthouse. Again, the white blotches. But imagine men going over the side in ropes. They must have fallen once in a while. Certainly you'd think it was sculpted by an artist. Close-up view of the cliffs, which must be fun to see in late spring up and through August, although they may block this area off for tourists so they don't disturb the birds. A rugged and dramatic chunk of coastline. Imagine coming up against this in a storm. This is classic of what you read in literature when the author is trying to paint a harrowing ship voyage which loses control and starts to approach the rocks. This is what they're talking about. Built in, I think it was 1919. So you know the lava flowed quite some distance off this coast. Rugged, deceptive landscape. It is what looks like nice grassy little interstices for walking. Ain't so. This is apparently the new lighthouse down at Ornverdarness, or however you pronounce that. Ornverdarness. The point we're going to look at here, and the point of this place historically, was that it was a boat landing. Rowboats came ashore in the coves below. It was pretty dangerous. The men had to climb onto the cliffs to steady the boat, which is dangerous. I almost did some severe damage to myself with a sailboat down in Redondo Beach in the same circumstance. Boats had to be dragged up across the flat rocks, up even sometimes to this area here, to protect them from the seas. I know what they're referring to when they say the flat rocks. These don't look flat, but maybe it was those patches of lava or someplace like this. But I'm guessing that the water was much higher at the time. Notice that one round rock there, almost like a ball. Peaceful ocean, this beautiful sunny day with a slight wind belies the drama that most of the time these fishermen had to deal with, I'm guessing. Interesting to look at this pile of rock. Imagine how these all get rounded. Did they just erode in place? Was it just sand and smaller rocks that over time rounded these off as they sat here? Just the normal breakdown of the lava? Or they get kicked up over here somehow? Taking a closer look at this drawing, It appears that they had created a pathway through those boulders of flat rocks that could be used to bring the boats up. I think the artist drew this using this setting. We'll go in search of these flat rocks in this pathway. And just like the Oregon Trail left its ruts in the stone, these boats did the same. Probably after a while, might even facilitate dragging them. This may be part of another eerie story, a shipwreck, but look at a net still attached there. Has to be a new one, wouldn't you think? Or newer than the wreck itself. Pretty little cairn someone's created, and quite cleverly using oval stones. Got a big pile of netting, as though this is just a big part of a substantial wreck. Don't know if this will help me locate those flat stones, but here is an older structure and tall enough to be some kind of a human structure for habitation, I believe, and next to it another building. Don't see where the entrance was, but doesn't mean it didn't have one. There's some more structures right along that little ridge right there. Some more structures all along this little ridge line. So somewhere in through this area must be my flat stones. Along this closest gray rock ridge there are remnants of structures, and I can understand from what the interpretive sign says that perhaps a place like this they might be able to bring the boats in, particularly with a higher tide, quite a little ways in, and then from here slide them up on those flat stones. But they imply that you can still see the flat stones, so I'm in search of those. Looks like a natural place to come up from the water. This is a well we're going to look at. Here's the well. We'll walk down as far as we can into the darkness. Apparently it's been used even into modern times, but I don't have a flashlight with me, so but here we can see there's water. Too cool. You wonder if they put this capstone on top. It looks like they would have, yeah. Who set these stones? You can see that this break in a lava tube is some kind of microclimate. Bigger leafed plants in here. Whether it's because it gets more water, whether it's protected from the wind, I don't know. Okay, this is a tight little volcanic cone that has not fallen down or broken down yet. Hopefully won't for a few minutes. Now we're looking down and you can see again how when it's protected like that or gets water and protected, the growth is much greater. That's interesting. Here's another fumarole on the side. Who knows how far down that goes.